Hello, my name is Dan Gregory, and I am a fifth year PhD student at Baylor University's Truett Theological Seminary in the PhD in Preaching program. For my paper this year, I am using Paul Ricoeur's essay, Ideology and Utopia, as a lens to examine the dialogical relationship between Haddon Robinson and Fred Craddock's approaches to preaching. In the paper, I focus on the relationship between these two approaches. I'm not really interested in trying to critique them. I'm not interested in trying to say that one is better than the other. There are many works that critique each approach and that take a position as to which one is superior and give many reasons for their positions. That's not my purpose. I am solely interested in looking at the dialogical relationship between these approaches. I think that focusing on the relationship between Robinson and Craddock's approaches may help us be able to understand each approach better. Um, One of the things that Ricoeur does in his essay is identify the functions of ideology and utopia, especially with respect to political discourse. And so he says that ideological discourse has a conserving function. It tends to encourage the interlocutors to maintain the status quo, whereas utopian discourse is subversive in its mode. Uh, so it functions as a uh, antidote, as it were, to the ideology. It gives someone a place to stand outside of that ideological sphere and to look at these subject matter or the subject being addressed from a different perspective. In the paper, I put Haddon Robinson in the ideological sphere and Fred Craddock in the utopian sphere. Now, that could be reversed. The paper could be written with them in different spheres. That's how I chose to approach the paper. But again, I'm not looking to critique these approaches and say that one is better than the other. Rather, I am interested in delineating the relationship between these approaches and hopefully getting a more robust view of their relationship. I think analyzing the dialogical relationship between Robinson and Craddock will also bring to the surface the fact that both positions are themselves ideological. They have a vested interest and a particular values and beliefs and judgments that they support. And by looking at that relationship between the two of them and seeing the ideological dimensions of those approaches, I think it also reminds us that our very critiques of those positions are ideological and maybe makes explicit some of the things that are more implicit in our own private judgments or critiques. And so I think that's important to consider and to try and bring to the forefront of our minds as we navigate the field of homiletics and think about different approaches to preaching and our relationship to them. And so that's what I do in the paper. I'm interested in examining the relationship between these approaches and trying to uh, see what utility a dialogical analysis can have for us as homileticians. Um, so those are some of the issues that I raised, some of my thoughts in the paper, and I'm really interested to hear your thoughts. I'm looking forward to interacting with some of you during the paper presentations after a brief summary. Then we'll have time to dialogue, and I'm looking forward to hearing all of your thoughts on these things. So thank you.